G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we have got a 2012 HSV Senator Signature Series E3. Today we're going to be reviewing this car, we're going to check out its interior, take it for a drive, launch this thing, and we're going to find out just what defines an Australian luxury muscle car. Big 6.2 liter, naturally aspirated V8, rear wheel drive. Let's get into it. Okay, so it's great to be back in another beautiful Aussie machine, this HSV Senator Signature Series. This is the third generation of it, so this was the last one. Initially, these did come out in about 2006, I believe, and they were carried up until about 2013. This one being a 2012 was a Series 3. That's why you get the name, the E3, and mate, this thing, it's, you know, you can start to tell its age a little bit when you sit in here, but man, this is still just such a good car. You know what I mean? Like, it's just simple. There's not a whole lot to it, but man, it goes all right. Manufactured in Elizabeth, South Australia, and then finished off by HSV in Clayton, Victoria. Mate, you just gotta love these big Aussie muscle sedans. And even the luxury version, like this, the Senator, mate, it's just a beast. 6.2 liter, naturally aspirated V8 up front. This thing makes 425 horsepower and makes about 405 pound-foot of torque. It's got a 6-speed automatic gearbox mated to the rear wheels only. And mate, that is how I like it. And I would love a 6-speed manual in here, you know, a TR 6060 would have been beautiful. But I think those were an extremely rare option in these cars, and I'm not actually sure if the third generation even it was available. We got a bimodal exhaust on this thing, and woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Mate, get it past 4,000 RPM, and this thing just screams. Oh, it's good. It is so good. You put it in its Tiptronic mode, drop it down, and it really starts to scream, this 6.2 liter. There's no replacement for displacement, people, and oh yeah, rear wheel drive, you just get it around this. We gotta have traction control on because, mate, it has got a boatload of power, and oh mate, when you really start pushing this thing, it is a lot of fun. Now in this particular Senator, we do have the magnetic ride control. So we do have a little button in here. We just press that, and then this whole car will magnify and stiffen the suspension. Don't ask me how it works, but it does feel stiffer in here when you push that button down. And you get it on a nice B road, it definitely helps. Wow, and you know, this is a big car, 1.8 tons. We got a big engine, and you start putting your right foot down, surprisingly goes really well. And you are thankful that we do have HSV big brakes up front because you're gonna need it. And yeah, you definitely need as much stopping power as possible because the corners, they approach quickly, and rear wheel drive, it is a big car again, because you really don't have that huge amount of confidence when you go around a bend. Yes, the magnetic ride control does reduce that body roll for you quite a bit, and it is fairly planted, this vehicle, with traction control on, but it's just the sheer size and mass of this vehicle that it does struggle a little bit and does make you get a little bit nervous when you come up to a big hairpin here. The steering as well is probably not the best in this car. You know, it definitely has quite a little bit of play in it, lacks a little bit of feel. Now, just before we continue with this Senator, please go ahead and hit that like button, consider subscribing, and let's give it a cheeky dig. Ooh, yep, and we need the brakes, and we get on the gas. Hit the subscribe, guys, we gotta love this. Oh, mate. It's so satisfying after 4,000 RPM. It is so good. Hell yeah. Even stock. You know, we would love a cam, we would love a good exhaust on the back, but this bimodal exhaust from factory still gives you a lovely satisfaction sound when the flaps open up just around that 4,000 mark. Man, it's good. It may be thirstier than an alcoholic at a pub, but oh man, it's worth it. It is worth it. You get this thing screaming, you can really hear those valves in the exhaust open up. Oh, it is good. It could be better. It definitely could be better, and obviously, this being the luxury variant of the HSV, I am assuming they did try and keep this car a little bit more quiet in case you wanted to have that bit of refinement. But let's be honest, you're buying an HSV, you bloody want to hear it. Now, price for these cars, look, when they came out initially from new, they were going to be about $84,000 before any options were ticked. And, you know, that was a huge amount of money for a Holden HSV product. But, you know, these things really were special, really did feel quite premium back in the day. Today, you could probably argue that it definitely isn't as premium as the price tag would have indicated. And some of the competitors definitely were doing better interiors. But comparing this to a Ford or something, I gotta give it to HSV. They definitely had a better interior, a better overall design. I, for one, just like it more. Now, if you're gonna look price-wise to some of its competitors from new back in the day, you know, you're talking about maybe what? The GTE, we're gonna have the C63, you probably have the RS4 included in there, and look, you know, any of these Euros with a V8, you know, you're talking 150 grand new. So, you know, you're well and truly almost double the money of one of these cars, and that's when it starts to make sense to buy one of these things. This has got a 6.2 liter V8 up front, so does the C63. Is it as godly as the C63? No, I don't think so, but 150 grand back then was a staggeringly large amount of money, and it still is today. On the used market for one of these, the car market has just gone bananas lately, and you're going to be looking around that $50,000 to $70,000 depending on condition and Ks. This particular one is for sale again at Car Giant WA, so if you are interested, a link is in the description below. So please check that out, and if you do go over there, let them know that I sent you. Now, just having a good look at this HSV Senator Signature Series out here, and you know, it is pretty handsome. I'm gonna say it's definitely a little bit more sedate than if you were to get the GTS. I have previously reviewed a 25th edition GTS, and you know, you do get some big kind of bonnet scoops. You know, you even had like all this satin black around here and stuff. So I'll show you, if you want to watch that video, you can click the link here. But it does have pretty nice looking wheels. Again, you got those big HSV brakes behind there. And you know, it's just that little bit more toned down. It is a little bit more, you know, you could see it would probably fit an older gentleman a little bit more than a young racer boy. So, I mean, that's what they go for here. And at the back, I actually do quite like the back. You know, you don't have a big wing up here. Exhaust systems, a little bit disappointed with the surrounds being fake, but you do actually have some kind of quad tip mufflers at the back. Bit of a fake diffuser there, and then of course you got your signature, your HSV badge, you got the Senator badging. It's pretty nice, but let's go inside and I want to show you what's in here. Inside, you know, these really nice captain chairs, you know, these HSV seats are really good. The leather hug you pretty well. They are still designed for someone of a bigger build, but you know, of course, this one's got the automatic. I'm a bit funny with having the window switches here. You got your magnetic ride control there, handbrake, which is always nice to see. I feel like we are lacking something here. You know, there's literally nothing for me to do besides open the door. And I don't know. I don't really see why the passenger is getting all of this as well. You know, I feel like even these gauges up here should kind of tilt to me a little bit, but maybe that's just my selfishness as the driver. And, you know, in here we've got very cool looking gauges. I actually really do love the font, and, you know, it just looks unique, and I have not really seen that on any other car I've driven. Particularly love the fact that it is a blacked out roof lining. That's so smart. Every car really should be that way. It's even got a DVD player up here, which is cool for the people in the back. I absolutely love the EDI pages again. You know, just, I wish FPV did this. I really do. You know, I would love this in my F6. And then, you know, you've got all your radio controls. You've even got a reverse camera if we want to put it in reverse. So it does everything you really need to, and it does have Bluetooth. Now in the back seats, it is, again, very large. You know, it's tons of room back there. There's good headroom, there's good leg room. You've got your drink cups down here. You've got an armrest and, of course, your DVD that comes down. But other than that, there really isn't anything special back there besides the seats kind of contouring to the people on the outside. So enough about what is inside here. Let's do a 0 to 100. It's claimed at 4.9 seconds. There is no launch control, unfortunately, because this is an automatic, but let's give it a go. Now, we're out on this backcountry road here. I don't believe the automatics had launch control, unfortunately. I do know they did in the manual versions. I'm not sure about the Senators either, but we've got our Draggy here. Just reset it. I've got it in competition mode. I've just put it into sport shift, and we are just gonna launch it. We're in magnetic ride control, so here we go. It would be so nice if this thing could have a launch setting, because it definitely would have helped it off the line for sure. But man, this thing goes. Big 6.2 liter, man. Let's have a look at that time. 0 to 100 was achieved at 6.3 seconds, and it's claimed at 4.9. We are well and truly off of that. I never expected this car to do 4.9. Yeah, it's really all down to launch control. If this thing had launch control, I really think we could be around that 5.5 second mark.
So in conclusion, the HSV Senator Signature Series really is a car that feels special and uniquely Australian. Big, powerful, and full of character. Yes, it's a boat, and yes, the 6-speed has its imperfections, but for what this HSV is really all about, big presence and sheer brute force, it's bloody brilliant. And as HSV says, I just want one. Thanks for watching.